Hi, Palabo here. While I'm working on episodes for the next season, I'll give you some flashback episodes. Episodes that you might have missed. This one is episode 119 and was recorded in December 2017. It's from my visit to the Gambia in West Africa. Before this one, I want to say that I still would like to hear from you. Tell me where you are in the world and what you're doing while you listen. Go to theradiovagabond.com/contact and fill out the form, or send me an email on listener@theradiovagabond.com. You can also send me a clip with your voice. You can use WhatsApp on number +45 40 105 105, or just record a clip on your phone and send it in an email. Then I'll use your message or email in an upcoming episode when we start Season 5. Okay, let's go to the Gambia. It's Saturday morning. I'm in Gambia now, in the city called Banjul. And we just spent a night at a small hotel here in the city, and in a few minutes our taxi will come and pick us up and take us to the place where we're going to spend New Year's Eve. It's down by the river, and we're going sailing, and we're going exploring the area, and it's going to be fantastic. My name is Palabo. This is the Radio Vagabond podcast.
If you have any question to ask, you're welcome. Enjoy your boat trips.
Meet Palabo, a digital nomad from Denmark on an epic journey around the world.
My name is Palabo, and I'm a long-time radio producer. In 2013, I started planning to become a digital nomad and a full-time traveler. 3 years later, I had sold my house, my car, and all my furniture. And in July 2016, I set out on a quest to visit every country in the world. In this podcast, I'm taking you along on my journey. And I'm sharing my ups and downs, and let you listen in to conversations with some interesting people I meet along the way. We got the opportunity to spend a few days at Mandina River Lodges, the most amazing place in the middle of the forest, around half an hour's drive from the small capital of the Gambia, Banjul. Mandina River Lodge is founded by two Englishmen, Lawrence Williams and James English. Lawrence is a friend of mine, and also an avid traveler with an interesting story. Unfortunately, Lawrence wasn't in the Gambia at the time we were there, but I promise to catch up with him at some point to get his story. James English is his uncle, or was, because he passed away very unexpected in 2012, a few weeks after being diagnosed with cancer. James and Lawrence had been traveling a lot together. James had almost been to every country in the world, and now, whenever Lawrence visits a new country, he spreads a little bit of his uncle's ashes in the country as a gesture. A thing that, by the way, almost got him arrested in North Korea. Like I said, Lawrence has a lot of stories, and I promise I'll have him share some of them at some point when I finally meet him.
This is the Radio Vagabond podcast.
This episode is brought to you in part by Hotels25.com. Whenever you need a hotel anywhere in the world, go to Hotels25.com. That would get you the best price. Hotels25.com searches a bunch of the biggest hotel sites in one simple search. Hotels25.com. It's best price guaranteed. It's Sunday morning here in Gambia, and it's New Year's Eve's day. It's a little before 8 o'clock in the morning, and we're here at Mandina River Lodge, and it is just so amazing. It is so beautiful and so calm and so quiet, besides all the animals that you can hear. I'm on the front porch of the lodge that we're staying in, and it's a beautiful little house. There's a terrace on the rooftop where you can sit and have a nice view of the forest, and and the room itself, it has a very nice bed with mosquito nets in the middle, and also a few more beds, and it's got an outdoor shower, and it is beautiful. The whole complex is also gorgeous with small pathways through the forest, and the river is like 20 yards away from me right now, and it's got a swimming pool, it's got a very nice restaurant area, and everything is located in the middle of nowhere, right in the middle of the forest here in Gambia. And we came here yesterday. We agreed with the taxi that brought us to the hotel yesterday that he should pick us up and drive us here. It's around 20 miles out here or something like that. And I asked him for a price, and he said, "I need to think of that." And when we got here, we got into the taxi, which was a mistake. Before agreeing on a price, you should always agree on a price before getting into a taxi. And before going here, we were going to be visiting AfriCell shop to get a local SIM card, because there's no Wi-Fi out here, and to be just a little bit connected. So then I asked him, how much is it to drive us out there? And he said 3,500. And I wasn't sure what he meant, because 3,500 of the local money is around $73, and that is totally way too much. Normally, it's much cheaper to drive through with a taxi in this part of the world. So I said 1,500, which is $31, and when we stopped, we agreed that 1,000 would be more reasonable, which is around $21, and he didn't really care much for that, and said no, it's not enough, and I need to buy gas and all that. So we agreed on 1,200, which is probably way too much to drive us here. It's about an hour's work for him, and that's normally too much. It's not so much about the money. It's more like we don't like to pay tourist price on principle, and for us it was a fair price. It's much cheaper than in our part of the world, but we don't like to be just doubling, tripling, or paying much more than the locals when we do something like driving in a taxi. So but we ended up paying him that, and then we got here, and it was just so beautiful. We started by sitting down with one of the locals, Noah, and he gave us a briefing on the whole place and what was going to happen.
So as now, I don't know what you want to have, a drink, a juice, a soft drink, or a beer.
Juice,
so,
Juice, yeah.
Winter?
Beer would be good for me.
Hot. Because you said you're cold, is it? Are you hot? Just cool it down. They welcome drink, the juice and a beer. But for now, after your drink, we'll take you to your lodge. You will see your guide who normally take people to the desert canoe rides and a forest walk. Yeah. No problem. Yeah. So, and the guide also will give you more information about any other trips we do have here. Normally, you're going to Jungle 1. That's the other side of it. And in the room, you have towels which have a strap lines. That's our mainly for the pool.
For years, James had been searching for a piece of land suitable to create a tourism project, and on Christmas Eve 1992, they found Makasuto, the forest in which they built Mandina River Lodges. Today, Mandina River Lodges are run by Linda.
My name's Linda English, and I was the former wife of one of the founders of Mandina River Lodge, or Makasuto. And when James died, I came out here to help Lawrence run the place.
And it was only after James passed away that Linda came down here.
I only came out when he died. He'd asked me to come before, but I had businesses and commitments in the UK. So unfortunately, by the time I was ready to come out, he suddenly got ill with cancer. And within 5 weeks of being diagnosed, he died.
Oh, that was fast.
Yeah, it was really fast.
Yeah.
Quite unexpected.
In fact, she thought it was a crazy idea to put money in a piece of forest in the Gambia.
I told James I thought he was absolutely mad to invest all his money in West Africa. Completely bonkers. And I think my advice was actually quite right from a financial point of view.
Imagine that. Your husband gets this crazy idea to buy a piece of land in a West African country with his nephew, and after he dies, you end up moving down here to run the place.
This is my 6th year now. Yeah.
You intend to stay?
I don't think I have a choice. It's the place that won't run itself.
No, that's right. And she loves the place.
It's totally unique. I've travelled a lot and I've never actually seen anywhere like it before in my life.
Makasutu is a tropical 1,000-acre reserve encompassing 5 different ecosystems.
We're based in a forest. The forest wasn't even there. It had all been cut down when James found it. And he and Lawrence replanted it all. And then the wildlife came back.
15,000 trees were planted over the next few years. And the wildlife came back.
And they did deals with various local communities. And it's now classed as a conservation area. They have to protect the forest. Oh. And that was the real reason for doing it.
Yeah. Now the wildlife is plentiful with many bird species, monitor lizards, baboon, vervet and red colobus monkeys, and the occasional crocodile, and even the odd mongoose can be spotted by the riverbanks.
So when we're walking in the forest, it's good to have spray on.
Yeah. We always start to advise people, to put on mosquito repellents or anti.
Yeah, we bought some 2 days ago.
Oh right, okay. So anytime you're just going out for a walk, just apply in case you never know.
In the afternoon, we were invited to go for a walk through the forest with a local guide. And he's dressed in green and khaki with a monocular around his neck, ready for bird watching.
I'm Amadou. My surname is Bojang. I walk since 1994 with James and Lawrence. When they came 1992, and the first day start is called base camp.
Yeah.
And from here, the base camp take you about 10 minutes walk.
Makasutu means sacred forest in the local language Mandinka. And James and Lauren started it both as an ecological project and a place for people to come and learn about the local culture and people.
And my job is here only for tour guiding, bird watching, or taking tourists to the forest. Yeah. Give them more experience. And
and you look like a tour guide. You have a binoculars around your neck, and
I have binoculars for anything, anybody, just interested for doing bird watching. So we do a lot.
Yeah. So where are you taking us now?
Now we're going to base camp to show you there the first place they found. Then from there we walk to the culture center just to look how, because Makasutu is big. If you say Makasutu, it's general, including base camp, Mandina, Baobab. And we have big forest.
Yeah.
So we took around to see how these people started here, to see what's happened.
So what kind of animals are in this forest?
Yeah, anyway, because this forest is a small forest, because now we have only monkeys, the green monkeys, and the baboons, we call them Gina baboons. And now we have potash monkeys, and you see them in the woodlands. And now we have marsh mongoose. You can see mangoes and squirrels, because it's a small forest. We don't have these large animals like tigers, hyenas, lions, Yeah, this is the only one we have in the forest. Yeah. And the birds, Yeah.
James and Lauren spent the first 7 years living in tents on the land with no running water or electricity.
Just the two of them, yes. I mean, James he would never stop travelling.
No.
That's one of the reasons I think we'd been parted for a long time, but he just couldn't. He had itchy feet. We travelled a lot together, but at one stage I thought, I'm never going to get anywhere. Just keep moving around.
They did this really to understand the land and the environment, which is why you really notice the attention to detail that has gone into the design and the construction.
Do you know the tree?
I don't know the
It's
tree.
a very important tree in the Gambia because they are oldest tree. This is why if you travel so many countries in the village, the up countries, if you want to the forest or like a woodlands, if you see baba tree like a circle, so many of them, you know, the settlement about 300 years, you know, people settled there. Because the problem is they use the leaves, the fruits, and the bark is all important. Because the leaves, ladies take them home, pound it, mix with couscous, can have nice flavor to eat.
Really?
Yeah. And the fruits, we make cream of tartar or baba juice.
Ah.
Yeah, because if you open inside, it's white. And if you peel it, our grandparents, they use that rope. You know, people have cattle, you know, just to keep them at home.
Yeah.
But we cannot use like wood. Only the maybe.
Okay, the wood is not good
people
for
don't use wood. Yeah. But they are old industry because now in the winter the leaves come down. In the summer the leaves come back. Because if we are far from the tree, you see, oh, there's a dead tree. Well, it's not, because all the leaves come down because of the wind.
He just, for all the places he went to, he just loved Gambia. He kept coming back looking for somewhere.
Yeah.
It was the third visit to Gambia. They went up one side of the river and back down the other. And he knew it as soon as he found base camp.
The initial idea was to build a small backpackers lodge. But after many nights sitting around the campfire, they decided to try and help reforest the area and eventually open the site as a cultural reserve, highlighting how the local people live and also encourage the return of the wildlife in the area.
It was opened as a day park, first of all.
Okay.
So to bring visitors into Makasutu, to show them the wildlife with guides, take them on canoe trips. And the lodge itself was started just with the stilted lodge, and then it grew organically, and then the floating lodges, then the jungle lodges and mangrove lodge. But it's still only got 9.
One thing led to another, and instead of a small backpackers lodge, they decided to develop a 5-star eco lodge like no other in West Africa. Construction began in 2000 with as many as 150 people working on the swimming pool alone. Due to the standard of the carpentry, the lodges were very time-consuming to produce. However, the finished result is impressive, with a total of 9 lodges being completed over several years with different designs, both on and off the water. And apart from the birds singing, it's very quiet and peaceful here.
You get a lot of privacy here, and that's what people come for. They come for privacy, peace, and nature.
Yeah, and you told me that it's a child-free environment.
It's, well, not totally child. Well, it depends what you call young child-free. Yeah. Under 10 years, we can't have children here.
No.
It's not a safe place to be. There's too many dangers here. Too many animals. The river's got a wicked tide, and the local people lose children in it quite often. It's just we like peace and harmony. Children can be a little bit disruptive at times.
Yeah, so beautiful here.
Yeah, got nature forest, you know. Everything's green, especially when it rains. Stop immediately, like September, October. Yeah. Before everything gets dry. Yeah. Because now we are going in the middle of winter, everything leaves down. You know? This our local medicine, like the traditional healers, the herbalist doctors. It's called lubanum. But we don't use the seeds, the fruits. We use all its roots. Yeah, just take the roots, take home and dry it, split into pieces, put in a bottle, put some water, you drink every day. If you have stomach problems, it cures for stomach. Yeah, and it's good for the man, give you strong.
What is it called?
Of tradition, it's called lubanum.
Lubanum,
yeah. Lubanum.
And it's not that big. It's
not big. Like
It's almost like a big bush.
We use all the roots. Yeah. And the leaves is sometimes good because people boil it like tea.
Yeah.
Like this one. We call it bush tea. Very nice.
The staff of Makasutu all comes from the surrounding villages, and that's a deliberate message to try and help stop the urban drift to the city and allowing the surrounding areas to directly benefit from the place. One of them is the head of security at Mandina River Lodges. His name is Dauda.
My name is Dauda.
Dauda. In Danish, when we say hi, we say Dau. So, Dau.
It's all the same. Yeah.
I met him at the camp base when we were doing the jungle walk with Amadou. He used to be a policeman, and then he's a popular radio DJ in his free time.
Oh, this is a Gambian artist based in Germany. He came on and I had some interview with him. This is just after interview. This is me and him in the studio again.
So, obviously, with my radio background, we connected instantly and started being very nerdy when he showed me pictures from the radio studio.
That is so cool. So cool, yeah.
This is the studio itself.
Wow.
The studio.
What kind of mixer is that?
That's it's a 12-channel mixer.
Yeah, it looks cool.
Yeah, it's a nice radio station.
Yeah.
Whenever I get into a studio, because I started up as a DJ.
Okay.
And I got into all other kinds of We agreed to meet later and chat some more, so the next day Dauda came and picked me up at the main gate. I got on the back of his motorcycle and we took off down the dirt road. He wanted to show me a spot that was very important for his work as head of security. So I was a bit surprised when he stopped in the middle of the forest. That's where they have the main borehole, the main well.
This is the main borehole of Makasutu.
That's where you get all the water
for everywhere, for the guests around Mandina, for base camp, and for Baobab as well.
Yeah.
And this place is priority because it's a very important place because we have to protect this place.
Yeah.
This is why when I come early in the morning, I have to visit here. In the afternoon before I go, I have to visit here. In the night also, if I come around, I come here because it's a concern, great concern. Yeah.
What could happen? Could somebody
because you can see this place is busy. Mm-hmm. Before I come out here, I realized there used to be thefts. People will come and remove this pump from here.
So steal the pump?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But this is why when I came, it was explained to me from the management. They talked to me about this place, so I make it a priority. Yeah.
It's not that big. How deep is it? Do you know this?
No, I don't. I don't know. Yeah, it was dug long time ago.
Yeah,
long time ago.
But a lot of water comes from there.
And baboons will come here. Baboons will come here. This is why you can see this place. And you can have a lot of animals that might come here in the night also. Mm-hmm. We used to leave a small hole for the baboons to come and drink because they are concerned about these baboons also. They put a hole there so that it can flow, water can flow. You can see the and baboons and other animals will come and drink.
So they actually did that for the baboons.
Yes. They're part of it. Because they have to drink. You can see if there is no places where they can be provided water for only this place and Baobab. Because if you go to Baobab, you can see there's a place created around the bar. Baboons can come there and drink.
We'll get back to Dauda a bit later in this episode. But first, let's go back a few hours to Sunday morning when we got up early to go canoeing on the river. Edward didn't hear his alarm clock, so he was a bit late when I went to meet the guide.
Hi. Morning.
How are you?
I'm good.
You sleep well?
Yes.
That's why I say, I don't know what's happened still now. They're not here.
No, but his alarm clock didn't work, so he was a little bit late, and I was waiting for him. Then he said, "Go now and say that I'll be there in 2 minutes." So we're so sorry we're late.
No problem.
Yeah,
it's Gambian time. No worry.
Yeah, exactly. That's what we thought. That's what we thought. Now we've been here so long. He said, "Nah, don't worry. It's Gambia time. It's Gambia time." The river is so quiet.
Yeah, we're tidy.
Oh, hello. Good morning.
You all right?
Good. Pretty good. Is it safe to bring cameras?
Yeah. Okay. One seat in the front, one seat at the back. This river is called Mandina Balong. It's tributary to River Gambia. And the river is very rich for fishing. We've got some barracudas, got ladyfish, we have butterfish, catfish, tilapias. And when it's high tide, go for 4 meters, and the low tide is 1 meter. And during low tide, you can see oysters, but now you can't see them. They are white shells. And our ladies, they use the canoes, collecting them, taking the sandbank, cook them, because here we don't eat raw oysters. Because if you eat raw, it's called stomach problem, it could burn your belly. That's why we normally cook them. So when they are cooked, it's nice. You can mix with rice or peanut sauce or domada. You can enjoy a very nice taste. If you have any question to ask, you're welcome, and enjoy your boat trips.
Here we are, my friend Edward and me and our guide. In a canoe, slowly gliding down the river here in the Gambia, in the morning before New Year's Eve, the 31st of December. And this is where I would normally end an episode. I always made this commitment that no episode should be longer than around half an hour. But then in this episode I thought, screw it. So after a short break, we will continue. If you want to take a break now and go and do something else, you can do that and then come back later, because then it would be like 2 episodes. But you can also continue listening when we come back, and I think you should. But first, let me tell you that this episode is supported in part by Hotels25.com. It's a website that helps you find the best deals on hotel rooms, guest houses, and hostels around the world. In one simple search. Hotels25.com. Try it out, would you? And then I also want to say that you should go to theradiovagabond.com and see a lot of pictures from these amazing days here in Mandina River Lodges in the Gambia. This episode is brought to you in part by Hotels25.com. It's a website that helps you find the best prices on hotels and guest houses and hostels around the world. Hotels25.com. Best price guaranteed.
And I can take anything you can throw at me, and nothing can get me down. Life is looking so bright, the sun is up again. I'm feeling like I could fly. No clouds in my way, no. And I'm living the good life. And I'm living the good life now. I'm living the good life, and nothing can get me down, no.
Before we continue, I just want to say a deep, heartfelt thank you to the people who wrote a review in iTunes or your podcast app. This means so much to me. Thank you.
Lifted up on your shoulders, I can see the whole world. There's nothing that I cannot do, no. You and me together, we got this thing down, and nothing we cannot do. No clouds in our way, no. And I'm living the good life. I'm living the good life now. I'm living the good life, and nothing can get me down, no. Life's got a way of pushing you, but we got the strength to push on through. 'Cause there's not a place that we can see if we don't live what we believe.
Okay, we're back in the canoe. In the last part of this extra long episode, I'll also speak some more to Dauda and Linda. We'll go to the craft market and speak to an artist. And then we spend the most quiet New Year's Eve I've ever had. And then I leave. Yeah, I said I leave, not we leave. Hear what happens in this second half of this episode. Do you know what kind of birds that is?
Morning dove.
Morning, Doe. Well, back to describing the place. When we entered, we came into an area. The reception has what's it called? A straw roof.
This is a grass roof. Yes,
Yeah.
we have to buy the grass in from various places.
Yeah.
It lasts. That's lasted very well. Some of them, you see, the crows, nature, the wind, the rains in the rainy season. The wind wreaks havoc with some of these roofs, and every 3 years they have to be either patched or replaced. Yeah.
And then there's a lovely pool.
The pool is beautiful. The pool.
A bit cold.
Well, it's not heated. I mean, how can you? You know,
I know.
We have to. Yeah.
But I would think. I would think.
You shouldn't even worry about that.
That's
Come
right.
on.
That's right. But I don't swim in the ocean in winter.
I don't blame you, but you know, power is one of our. We don't have any mains supplies of power here.
I saw that you get sun power.
We have solar panels.
Solar power, yeah.
Yes, it's been a bit of a disastrous installation with a certain company here, but we can run on solar for maybe 12 to 14 hours a day, but the rest we have to use generators. So to heat a swimming pool would just be rather foolish.
Yeah, in Africa.
Yeah, and it gets so hot, people should want to cool down.
Yeah.
Very easy to open, you see them?
Yeah.
So when you cook, they open.
After gliding down the quiet river, enjoying the scenery, the fresh air and the exotic sounds of the forest, we stepped on land to see some women cooking oysters over an open fire. They let us taste some, and we ended up buying a small bag as a snack to take back to the lodge.
Are you open?
How long time have you been working here?
I used to work here. That was about 10 years ago.
This is Dauda again. He tells me how he ended up as head of security here at Mandina River Lodges.
And I worked here for only 4 months, and then after all, I left here and went and do some other courses, and then I did travel and tourism. After that, I went to the police. I joined the police. Yeah, I was in the police for 6 years. I just recently, about 2 months, I retired voluntarily, and then I think I can do something else.
Yeah.
So I was called, I wrote an application to Makasutu, and they said yes. As a chief security, so I'm back to Makasutu again.
Oh, that's
my
great.
old family.
Yeah. And you know a lot of the people here.
Yeah, exactly. Yes.
And then
but this time round it's a different thing because I've been taught about security, so I need a lot about security.
You must have learned a
so
lot
when
from the
I was
police.
here before, I was a raw civilian. Right now I went and I was in the force for some time, and I come back. And my role as a chief security, I have to be different. And there are so many ethics that are put into me. I have to emphasize them. Yeah.
And then you have a thing that you do on Tuesday nights.
Yes, I'm a DJ also. I'm a DJ. My DJ name is DJ Water Bantan.
Water
Bantan. And I control the...
Does that mean anything?
Water is natural water.
Yeah.
Water is natural. And then Bantan is from we say we have a Bantan family, like Buju Bantan, Mega Bantan, Staki Bantan, and all the Bantan means lyrics man. Naturally, Bantan means lyrics man. Buju from Buju.
That's athletics, like a
lyrics,
runner.
Yeah. Somebody who is lyrical.
Yeah.
Somebody who's lyrical. You write lyrics. You sing lyrically. Yeah. Bantan is lyrical. But water is
lyrical.
Lyrical, exactly.
Okay.
Lyrical.
Okay. I thought you said athletical.
No.
Lyrical.
Lyrical, yes, lyrical. And I have a program at Paradise Radio, 105.7. It's a digital radio worldwide. You can have it on the internet. Yeah, most of my shows, as I perform, you can get me straight from the internet directly, So my show at Paradise is called Inspired Reggae Sting. I promote both Gambian music and international music. Yeah, especially reggae music for Gambia, and then reggae music outside also. Yeah. It's a very interactive show. I got a lot of callers, a lot of texts, and I love the show. Yeah, and I love being a DJ also. Yeah, man, I love being a DJ.
Can I come visit?
Of course, you are welcome to my show, Inspired Reggae thing. I think we have to go there on Tuesday. Tuesday night is my show. And trust me, Paul, you have to be there with me. We have to be there with me. You have to come to my show on Tuesday. Please, you have to come there and see the environment there, because, you know, this is Gambia. And you pass through many countries around the world, but this is a different country, the Gambia. It's called the Smiling Coast.
I'd love to take you up on that invitation. Tuesday night, it's
Tuesday
a
night.
deal, man.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man.
Good. How you doing? After canoeing, we went to the local craft market. It's right here in the middle of Makasutu Forest, and you really need to know about it in order to find it.
This is the craft market. You have the craft market. It's part of Makasutu also. And this is the reception where if guests come from different places, this is where they're going to attend them. Yeah. And then this is where they need to make payments. Yeah. You know, it's cheap. Besides, this is a place where they sponsor local people. They help local people.
Yeah. So it's mainly tourists that come here.
It's mainly tourists. Yeah. And also Gambians also come here.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Gambians come here. Everybody come here, yeah. Yeah. That's where we have the day.
So it's things that's carved in wood and the different craft.
Different crafts, yeah. Different crafts. You can see you can see right here. There's a pottery. Somebody's doing pottery. Mm-hmm. The man that was here, but he passed away some years back. But the son is doing it right now, and you can see the cavalry over there. Mm-hmm. You can see this man also is even doing a different thing. Yeah. Yeah. All these youths are talented. They have different talents, and they nurture them. Yeah. Yeah. They do different things. You can see that's painting. Somebody's painting, and the person is here. All these things they do them here. Yeah. Yeah, they do them here.
That's part of the experience that you can actually see it being done. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
Wow, that's excellent, fantastic.
Can't imagine how it's done.
Oh. So talented.
Canoes, scarves.
What kind of people come here?
Generally, people come to see the wildlife. On the whole, I would say our main demographic group is from 40 to 50 upwards. People that have time and the money to spend on. Yeah. Well, it's not. I wouldn't say it was a cheap holiday, but they want to see birds. Bird watching is phenomenal here. There's over 250 species just locally in the forest.
Yeah. And the sounds from the birds are very different from what I hear in Denmark.
Yeah, I'm sure they are, yeah. Well, they're probably just shivering in Denmark.
Yeah. It's 7:30. It's New Year's Eve, and I'm sitting in the bar here at the resort in Gambia. I'm the only one here. It's New Year's Eve, 7:30. I thought there might be some people in the bar, but apparently it's low season right now, and only 3 of the lodges are rented out. We met them, and we agreed that we would all eat at the same time at 9 o'clock. But it's probably not going to be a big dancing. There's not going to be a local band playing. There's probably not even going to be music. So no wild party and no fireworks. We're in the forest, and it's going to be so different and so quiet. And I'm kind of enjoying it. I've had my share of big New Year's parties in my lifetime.
Linda English, the former wife of one of the 2 co-founders of Mandina River Lodges. Her now late husband James found the place with his nephew Lawrence, and they both traveled a lot. And like I briefly mentioned earlier, in some way they both traveled together, even after James died in 2012.
James he'd been to all but about 11 countries in the world. I think it was Lawrence first off started. His wish was to put James's ashes in the country he hadn't been to, and then he decided to take it further.
Yeah, and Lawrence was in North Korea with a good friend of mine, and I heard the story of him almost getting in trouble there.
Yeah, well,
they didn't really like him spreading ashes in North Korea.
No, I don't know why, but I mean, it's ashes, ashes, ashes. You know, it's not going to. It's not nuclear dust or anything.
They might think so.
They might do. Yeah, you never know.
Yeah, but Linda, we thoroughly enjoy being here, and it's going to be interesting. A quiet New Year's Eve. I guess here in the forest that we won't see much fireworks.
You can't possibly see fireworks here. We set fire to the place. It's like a tinderbox out there.
Fireflies, maybe?
No, not even that.
Not
Sorry.
even that.
Yeah, we weren't expecting this. I don't know what happened this year. As I say, we were full last year, and usually we'd have a dancing troupe in, but
there's no there's no band tonight.
No, not unless you make your own music. You can try.
Yeah, but. We're kind of used to that, and the New Year's Eve, on Christmas Eve we were in Dakar and nothing happened.
Oh really?
Yeah, so we just made our own Christmas Eve. So it was very different.
Because in Gambia it's a national holiday, even though it's 95% Muslim. Yeah. They have Christmas is a holiday. Yeah, and everybody has a party.
They talked a little bit about that in Senegal as well. They have both the Christian and the Islamic holidays, so it's holidays all the time.
Yeah, well, any excuse for a party.
Yeah, exactly.
Why
exactly. Thank you, Linda.
My pleasure.
This New Year's Eve turned out to be very special and memorable. The group at the other table at dinner was from England, and in between courses of amazing food, we played a quiz game, and after that they started a campfire close to the river. We ended up sitting around the campfire, chatting and singing songs and having the most fantastic New Year's Eve. The next day I booked a hostel for Edward and me in Banjul, but as I was about to leave, Edward said to me, "Guess what, Palle? I like the place so much, so I'm staying." So I went off alone. Time to go back to being a solo traveler. In the next episode, you can find out what happens next. And please let me know what you think of an extra long episode like this. Is it too long, or are you fine with this? You can send me an email on mail@theradiovagabond.com or leave a comment on the official Facebook page, facebook.com/Palle Radio Vagabond. Please join the conversation. This episode was supported in part by Hotels25.com, where you need to go if you want to find the best prices on hotel rooms, guest houses, and hostels around the world. It's Hotels25.com. The Radio Vagabond is a production of Radio Guru, my production company where I teach radio advertising, do talks, and produce branded podcasts. See more about that on radioguru.co.uk. My name is Palle Bo, and I gotta keep moving. See ya.